Well, just before the break, you got to take a little behind the scenes peek at all of the incredible work that all the incredible volunteers do with clothing our kids and, setting kids up in our community to be the best they can in school. They don't have to worry about where their clothes are coming from, and to have fresh, clean clothes makes such a difference for some of those kids here in our community. But if you're feeling inspired by that story, we have a chance for you to give back and help out coming up later this month. We've got Bob Bluen, president of Clothing Our Kids, joining me today. How are you?
Hey, Leah, really good. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. And it really is such a beautiful mission that you guys have. If somebody missed the piece that we did just before this interview, catch us up a little bit on what you guys do for the community, because it really is special.
Well, one of the things that we do is we remove a major barrier in learning.
Yeah.
And most people don't focus on how clothing can be a barrier to learning.
Sure.
And so these children that come to school, a good example is when the charity started with Mary Rio back in 2012, a little girl came to school with the same clothes on 5 days a week. And that's a major barrier. So what we do is we remove that barrier to learning. We make sure that the children are kitted out with clean, new school clothes. So when they walk into school, they feel good about themselves. The other children see them feeling good about themselves. The self-esteem goes way up. And the teachers and the nurses, counselors tell us that truancy goes down.
I bet it does. And I think, when you think about how fast kids grow too, if a family can only afford maybe the beginning of the school year, a pair of shoes, and that foot grows by the time we're in spring now, and now their shoes don't fit and you can't focus on your schoolwork, your feet hurt. It really is such a barrier that I think you're right. A lot of people don't think about. A lot of teachers, they're funded for certain things to help out within their school community, but clothing often isn't one of them. So that is where you guys come in.
Very good. Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head.
And you guys have a really great event coming up that people can get involved in. Tell me about Stuff the Bus.
Well, Leah, this is a first ever event for us. We've never done this before. And you've seen these in the community for Stuff the Bus events. And so our volunteers had this idea and they started to work on it, and we got the Jolly Trolley people behind it. We have the American Legion people in Millsboro on Route 24 in Millsboro. They have been wonderful supporters of ours. And so on March 21st, that's coming up Saturday, no rain Saturday, I'm calling it.
Here we go. I'll take it up with our meteorologists.
From 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So if you have new clothes, if you're running by the outlets or any of the stores between now and Saturday, if you pick up a pair of underwear, the packaged underwear, socks, hoodies, any kind of clothing that you can think of in sizes from pre-K all the way up to high school sizes. So we're really, really, really excited about this. We don't know how the response is, but hopefully with help from your good selves, we're going to have a great response. And I just want to share one story with you. We have a neighborhood who's going to do their own Stuff the SUV.
Oh, cute.
And then they're bringing their SUV to stuff the bus. So if anybody out there wants to do the same thing, you can stuff an SUV you can stuff a Volkswagen. I mean, whatever you want to stuff. We'd love to have you on Saturday.
Yeah, I think that really is. A story like that, though, does, I think, resonate with a lot of people in our community. I mean, we say it, we literally say it all the time here, how great our community is when it comes to a call to action like this, to give back to people right here in our own backyard. You never know who might be struggling. You never know. It could be your kids' best friends. You just don't know. And so I think it's a great way to, kind of pay it forward. We've got a new season happening. I mean, on Friday, I think, is the first day of spring. So I think it's always a great way to just kind of reset and maybe start a new season on the right foot by taking care of people right here in our own community. So one more time, the when, the where for Stuff the Bus. And, people, they get involved. Sometimes that energy kind of carries over. If they want to get involved as a volunteer with Clothing Our Kids, can they do that? So
the event again is Saturday the 21st from 9 to 1 o'clock. If you go to our website, www.clothingourkids.org, you'll see all kinds of opportunities for volunteering. You'll see an opportunity to Give us new clothes if you're interested in that, or having a clothing drive in your community if you can't make the bus this weekend. That's all on our website. And I just want to make a point, Leah. You said this is a start of something new. We work with the nurses and the teachers and the counselors, and they tell us that they have money, emergency funds, for shelter, especially during the winter months for these children. And we do have homeless children in the county. They do have emergency funds through the food bank. Cape Henlopen Food Bank is another big food bank, and there's others in the different districts. But they have no funds for clothing. So that's what we do, and that's what Mary and John Rio started 14 years ago. And so we provide that resource to the teachers, nurses, and counselors, but of course they give the child the clothing. We don't give the child the clothing, and that cements that relationship. So we're getting an additional benefit by cementing that relationship with the child. So thank you to the community. Thank you to you for supporting this.
Sure.
We really appreciate it. Love to see everybody out on Saturday.
Of course. Well, Bob Lewin with Clothing Our Kids, president of Clothing Our Kids, thank you so much for being here today with us on the CoastLife Couch. And again, thank you for all that you do with Clothing Our Kids. Like I said, it's a really special mission.
Thank you, Leah.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
We've got more CoastLife coming your way, though. Charlie and I have a little more yapping to do when we get back.